The reason you're struggling on defense right now in Madden 26 is because you're calling bad plays. Or worse, you don't have a complete defensive scheme. Well, luckily for you, I've been labbing this brand new defense from 3-3 Cub, and it's super easy to run. You're not going to want to miss this one because the tips get better as we go along. Let's jump right into it. The first thing any defense has to be able to do is actually stop the run. Let me show you the best way to do it from 3-3 Cub. Alright, so when we come into nickel 3-3 Cub, one of the plays that I like to utilize to stop the run a lot is cover 4 show 2. And the reason that's the case is because when your safeties are close to the line of scrimmage, they're going to play run defense and their run fits are going to be a lot better. But you can see right here the ball's on the 35-yard line, so you want to be standing right here about 4 yards over this guard, and you're just trying to loop around and shoot the gap, all right, here from Cub. So boom, we're going to take the snap, and you just see how wide open that is. Now, you have to go get that guy, right? So he has the opportunity to either keep running to the play side, or he's going to either cut it back to the middle. Now, he's probably not going to cut it back to the middle, especially because your user's going to be there. But if we go again, you're going to see how I'm just right there, and I'm able to make that dive tackle. A lot of the time, also, a lot of your other players are, there. You have to remember this is a 5-man front, basically. You have 3 D linemen and then 2 linebackers. So it's not like, they really shouldn't run the ball. They really have no business running the ball against this front at any consistent level. But yeah, all you have to do, loop through and then make that dive tackle just like I do right there by pressing X on Xbox, square on PlayStation. All right, so we're going to go through it one last time because you can see how easy this is. Other defenses struggle a lot on the ground because it's hard to shoot gaps with your user. But as long as you're standing about 4 yards over a guard here in this particular case, and if they flip the play, then you would go stand over the left guard. You just want to make sure you're on that running back side. So again, you're just going to loop around and you're just going to try to press X on Xbox square in place. And you see how when you miss, though, you have a potential to give up a big gain. And that's just why practice is important. Nothing can really be 100%, but practicing it, making it better. That's also why you want to have your safety depth on close as well, so that these guys are closer, or you can walk them down at the line. But trying to end it on a good note here. Boom, loop around, and there we go. Beautiful job. Press X or square to make sure you're getting that dive tackle. And that's another reason why heat seeker assist is so important, something I'm going to break down in the next segment. Alright, being able to stop the run is great, but if you don't have the right defensive settings turned on before you even load into the game, it's going to be really hard for you to get stops, even out of Cub. Let me show you the best ones to use right now. Alright, so when we talk about defense settings, you want to pause the game, or you can just do this on the main menu. But you're going to come into options, you're going to press settings, you're going to press game options. Alright, you're going to come down to these things called gameplay helpers. Alright, you want to make sure that you have ball hawk turned on so that you can help, or to help you catch interceptions when the ball is in the air. Heat seeker assist is going to help you make, like I said in the last segment with run defense, make those dive tackles. And that's a great example of it, because if I had it off, it would be much harder for me to actually suction basically the ball carrier and tackle his legs. So make sure that this is turned on. 100% is fine for the window size. Switch stick delay needs to be on none. We're going to talk about switch sticking later in the video, but you want to make sure that you're actually able to switch stick as good as possible, and none is the best way to do that. And then switch assist being turned on helps you as well. But then when we come into our coaching adjustments here, like I said, you want to make sure you have your auto flip on, cornerback matchups balanced, defensive motion response on disabled, especially if you're running zone coverage, because you don't want your guys following. A lot of these RPO keys don't really matter. You could go balance for pass, right? Zone drops are going to depend on the situation. I may be talking about this later in the video too. But safety depth close, safety width on pinch, all right? So that we're going to come into an example here, cover 2. Right, cover 2 is a great defense, and the reason why is because a lot of the time when you put your safety depth on close, it's going to be a lot harder for them to just hike throw a seam pass, because again, like I talk about all the time, the airspace in between your slot corner and your safety is going to be a lot, worse, or a lot less, I should say, right? They call Jerry Jeudy on this shriek route. They throw this pass. Look at this room in between 44 and 7. It's not a whole lot of it, and so the quarterback, honestly, right here just ends up airmailing the pass because this safety is already so close to the line of scrimmage, by default. You're also able to see on the other side as well, Harrison Smith is right here, to take away a pass. Because a lot of people, they just want to hike those seams. Like, for example, if you were to have it on default, you don't have it on close, and your safety's this far back, look at all that room. Someone's just going to throw a pass to their tight end right up the seam, and that's going to be pretty consistent for them. But putting it on close with the width on pinch is going to help you a lot, take away that room, and make defense a lot easier because you're using the right settings. All right, and before we jump to the last 3 tips, I wanted to remind you to go down below and hit that subscribe button. I break down defensive tutorials just like this every single day in Madden 26. You're not going to want to miss out. But if you want my full Vikings defensive ebook with step-by-step instructions, diagrams, videos on how to set all the defenses up in the Vikings playbook, go to the link in the pinned comment and use code WELCOME to get 20% off. Let's jump right back into it. All right, the next thing that I want to show you is the best blitz you need to be using from Cub, and it's actually a brand new thing that I've been labbing up. Let me show you. All right, so you're going to come into Mike Blitz 0 here from Nickel 3 Cub. All right, and so this is the setup. You're going to drop this defensive end right here, or the outside linebacker, into a curl flat. You're going to shift your D line to the left, because essentially what you're trying to do is overload one side of the offensive line and make it impossible for them to actually block this blitz. Now, you want to stand about 2 yards over the guard, or excuse me, over the center here in this case. So probably right here over number 55. And then you can do whatever you want as far as with the coverage. If you want to run man, you want to run zone. I would probably run man just because you can get really quick pressure with this and you don't have to cover for that long. But we're going to go ahead and show this. Now, you need to make sure that your D-pad switch sticking as soon as they snap the ball. And what do I mean by that? As soon as they snap the ball, just press D-pad right, because you want to switch stick onto the curl flat guy, right? So again, boom, take the snap, immediately D-pad switch stick, and now you see how we get that quick pressure. And we're going to look at the instant replay so that I can show you why that happens, right? So we're going to, take the snap right here, D-pad switch stick, and what does that do? It allows for this man right here, who is our user, to start the play. Now he's going to be blitzing. He's going to run into 75 here, which is going to be one of their offensive linemen, and create what I talk about, the 4-on-3 advantage, where we have 4 players on the side where they only have 3 linemen. You also see that 78 right here, his man was to block was this outside linebacker, but he drops into a zone. So now these 2 guys double team, and then we, are able to just come in free off the edge. Now, they can certainly block the running back. They can use, protections to half slide. But another great thing about Cub is that you can just flip it. You can just shift your D-line the other way and play kind of that cat and mouse game with them if they decide to use pass protection to one side. But right here, we're going to have them block their running back, use base protection again, but we're still going to pass commit our defense, set it up the same way, boom, immediately D-pad switch stick, and now you see how, yes, the running back is able to, luckily, I guess for them, step up and block the guy instead of him coming in free. But here's the thing that I talk about all the time, right? Running backs can't really block linebackers, right? So he's just going to run through this guy. You're also able to see we're able to shed these guys off the edge. So again, the pocket's going to collapse. This was only a 5-man blitz, and we're able to come in pretty well and pretty quickly against a 6-man protection. And the last thing that I'll talk about with this specific blitz, you can see how good the blitz is, but the coverage is also good behind it as well, because you're dropping an extra man into coverage. It's not a 6-man all-out blitz. You're right back into coverage, with your linebacker. If you wanted to use or something over the middle of the field, you could take 58 right here, run back over the middle. And I would also recommend having more of a coverage linebacker here so that you can play coverage pretty well. But you have full versatility, full freedom. You also see, since the running back blocked, this man is also, able to be used into coverage, whatever you want to do. So this new blitz from Cub, it's way better, honestly, than the old version that I was talking about a few weeks ago, where you're, turbo engaging with the line, because now you're back into coverage immediately. All right, anytime you load up a game, your opponent's probably going to be trying to hit you with corner routes, crossers, out routes, flood concepts, anything that attacks the sideline. Let me show you the best defense to stop that pretty easily. Alright, so obviously we're still going to be in 3-3 Cub. This is like a defense where you can sit in this all game. I would still recommend you mix in some of the other stuff that I have in my Vikings ebook, right? But Cub's good enough to where you can just run it every play at this point in the year. But curl flats 5, flats 25, come into cover 2. Alright, we're gonna be trying to stop corner routes. Now, here's the thing with the corner route. You're gonna see how when they call the play like this, right, you're gonna see how they take the snap, and they're going to that corner route is, well, He somehow caught it, but our man is right there. I mean, you don't have a guy who's 5'8" out there in coverage. You know, he's going to do a better job of stopping it. Let's see if we can try it again. And at that time, he gets the break up. Great job, as my controller batteries are low and I'm losing vibration. But there's a problem here. There's no one in the flat. Right, so if we take this snap here, we have a flat set to 25 yards. So if they just take the snap and throw an out route, they can certainly hit you with that. And that's what a flood concept really means, right? Where they're flooding all 3 levels of one side. Meet the double Mabel coverage though, because now you're gonna see we're just gonna put a curl flat on our slot corner. So press Y twice. Y twice, then press A, and then put your slot corner here in a curl flat. All right, so you're going to see what this is going to do now for us, because now that out route's going to be taken away by that 5-yard curl flat, and we're still going to have a man dropping that far back to be able to defend the corner route, right? So same thing here, put the slot corner in the curl flat now, boom, take the snap, and we understand how easy this is to be able to defend. We get that knockout. So both routes, all 3 levels are taken away. The streak is taken away, obviously, by the deep half and everything else. So that's a great way to stop corner routes, whether you want to just stop the corner route with the 25 or they're flooding you on one side of the field. You're able to use the double Mabel covers to help take that away. But you're going to say, BLT, what about the other side? Because flood concepts can exist to both sides. So what if they call like a delayed flood like this, where they're going to have their crosser running from Judy, then they're going to run Isaiah Bond underneath, right, just like this. Well, that's why Cub is still so valuable, because now you can just use the double Mabel. So now you can put your outside linebacker here in a curl flat as well. And if you didn't know that they weren't attacking the right side, you can also just put your slot corner in the curl flat and set it up just something like this. Right, so now we're going to go ahead and take this snap, and we are going to, you're just going to watch how, boom, the crosser is going to be taken away by the 25-yard flat, and then underneath of that, we have our 5-yard flat there that's going to do a great job of taking away that drag. So you're going to see right here, you user this route, the crosser over the middle, and then you pass it off. Once it runs to about here, you pass it off to the flat, and you can see how he's just going to break on it and knock it away. But yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about, where we're going to be able to use the double Mabel coverage to be able to defend corner routes, flood concepts, crossers, really whatever they're trying to do, we're going to be able to stop it just by using a simple zone drop adjustment. So all the time people asking BLT, what do I set my zone drops to? It depends on what you're actually trying to stop. If you're trying to stop a flood concept like this, just use 25 and 5. You take away this out route, you take away the corner route, and you're able to knock that pass away while he's taking away the go ball. So that's exactly how you're going to stop corner routes here in Madden 26. Alright, and so as you know, games are won and lost inside of the 20-yard line. You have to be able to hold the door, and the best way to do that is by working on your red zone defense. Let me show you how to do that out of Cub. Alright, so I know that, the red zone is technically anything inside of the 20, right? But a lot of people really change their offense a lot when they get inside the 10 or inside the 5, and so you have to be able to stop the run and stop RPOs, right? And so I really like to do this out of cover 2 defenses, because I understand what you have to do to stop RPOs, and so will you by the end of this segment. All right, so you're gonna have to take a top. I like to do safeties, because when they're this close, the safeties can't really get blocked, right? So I'm going to take Harrison Smith, and I'm going to man up this bubble receiver, or the guy that's going to probably be getting the RPO, right? I guess technically 16 could be getting the ball here, anyone that's off the line of scrimmage, but you can see how Jerry Jeudy's the inside receiver, so he's probably going to be the one getting the bubble. Just identifying stuff like that will help you out, but all you have to do, man him up, shade your coverage down, right, so that now you have hard flats on the field. So shade your coverage down so that you have hard flats, man this guy up, and then pass commit, right? So that's going to do a great job of stopping that bubble. And then, like I showed you in the first segment of this video, you still have to be ready to stop the run, right? So you're just going to see how I'm just able to run right through there pretty easily. I'm holding 2 controllers, but you would press X or square to make that dive tackle, like I showed you, like I said in the first segment, with run defense. But you can see how this bubble right here, Harrison Smith is just closing down. He's only looking to stop this right here. And the reason is because he's pass committed and he's manned up. If you don't pass commit, he has a chance to be looking into the backfield. But when you press RB, right stick up to pass commit your defense, he's stopping the bubble, and then you're just able to loop through gaps right here and stop the run. So really nothing crazy. right? I'm just gonna do it one more time. This is the most important thing in the red zone. Stopping the run, stopping RPOs, and forcing them into just a drop back passing game, right? So again, we're just gonna stand 4 yards over the guard here, set the defense up, and then you're just able to see you're able to come through and make that tackle. Whereas again, Harrison Smith, whoever that safety is able to just take away this pass on the other side of the field very, very easily. And we're perfect defense. And that's going to force them to eventually stop calling runs, stop calling RPOs, and actually drop back pass. And that's honestly where Cub excels even more, because now you have a bunch of underneath zone defenders, right? And when you have all those underneath zone defenders, they're going to just be able to sit at the sideline, or sit in the middle of the field and take everything away. So you're able to see, boom, right here, we're just sitting in the middle. They don't have anything to throw because we have a whole bunch of, like I said, underneath zone defenders, and you can get really aggressive with these guys, whether you want to be switch sticking, whether you want to be manning guys up, whatever you want to do, you have a lot of versatility once they get inside the 10, inside the 5, because, like I said, look at all these guys. Look at him, look at him, look at my user, look at him. Like, we're building a wall at the goal line to where the windows that they have to throw aren't really that open, and you're just able to take them away pretty easily with your user. So red zone defense, first it comes down to stopping the run and stopping RPOs, and then it comes down to being really aggressive with your pass defense so that you can take away those easy throwing windows that people can hit everywhere outside of the red zone. Alright, so like I said, if you enjoyed any of those defensive tips from Nick with the Cub, I encourage you to go down below and hit that subscribe button. And like I said, check out my Vikings defensive ebook at the link in the pinned comment. It goes through all the setups, all the write-ups, all the videos that are going to help you transform your defense here in Madden 26. And the best part is you can use code WELCOME to get 20% off. But check out this video right here where I give you a preview of that Vikings ebook so you know what you're really getting yourself into. I'll see you over there.